This video, I'm going to test out money-making methods in true early game. Now you might ask, what is true early game? You've probably seen those early game money-making Skyblock videos where the guy tests completely overdone methods with setups requiring billions of coins worth of investment and maxed out skills just to inflate profits to clickbait the thumbnail. See, the thing is, it's not exactly their fault. Early game in Skyblock ranges from a person who hasn't even bridged a hub yet to players with maxed out Hyperions. You don't believe me? Let's have a look at what people say. Level 119 is early game. Okay, interesting. Sure. That's an opinion that someone could have. Probably not a human. It's probably right about you being late early game. Skyblock has expanded. This guy seems eloquent. He seems quite reasonable. Let's see what he thinks early game is. Skyblock level 200. Average skill level 35. Net worth 4 billion coins. What do you mean 4 billion coins? It's early game, bro. If I grinded my ass off to get 4 billion coins and then someone came up to me and said it's early game, they would receive UFC treatment. And then you have people replying to this saying, these are the most valid rankings I've seen on this sub. I agree with your rankings. They're almost perfect, IMO. What do you mean perfect? After a bit of scrolling, I thought these many people can't possibly be wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. So I decided to add a little something called true early game. This is basically someone under 100 million coins net worth, maybe with some dragon armor, aspect of the end, aspect of the dragons, skill average under 20. And since most of Skyblock's player base is in true early game, it only makes sense to make a money-making video dedicated to them. But first, can you all guess how many subscribers I'm on? Yeah, I'm on 99 subscribers. So if all of y'all watching could just subscribe, I think we could wrap up 1 million in a day or two. Glacite Walkers are quite a famous method of gaining quick money and decent amounts of combat XP. To find them, you have to unlock the Dwarven Mines and then use the train tracks to go to the Great Ice Wall. Once you're there, you can just pull out your pickaxe and start one-shotting the walkers. Alright, so it's extremely complicated, the setup. Alright, so number 1, you need a pickaxe. And that's about all you need. Alright. Let's do the 30-minute test. This is the final haul. So the 5 Glacite jewels can be sold at 100,000 coins per. So that's 500,000 coins. And also the Glacite armor can easily be sold at around 50,000 per piece. So now that adds up to 1.1 million coins in 30 minutes. But I also made 100,000 coins just killing the Glacite Walkers myself. In an hour, I made 2.4 million coins. Now, I'm gonna be honest, 2.4 million coins in an hour is horrible. But it's a great beginner way of gaining combat XP, since all you need is a pickaxe really. And I guess it's a decent bit of money on top of that. Also, I would recommend sticking around until the end of the video if you want to learn about a passive money-making method that can earn you millions. This is my setup for one-shotting Zealots. Young dragon armor. And I use a combination of pure and fierce, just so I can get a higher crit chance. If crit chance is not a problem, then you can use fierce on all of them. Other than that, I have an aspect of the dragons. I'm also using sharp, once again, due to crit chance. If crit chance is not a problem, you could use spicy, legendary, I also have the entire Ender equipment with menacing on for increased crit damage. And all of this combined makes me do... Wait, what? Okay, what are the chances of that? 16,500 damage. Now, I also could be using something like an Aurora Staff, which is really good. It's hella cheap. Just 240,000 coins, and it does 12,300 damage, which can just one-tap Zealots for sure. But there's just one problem. It requires combat skill 22. And that I know is something that many people or many players in true early game will just not have. Which is why I decided to run the test with Aspect of the Dragons. So let's just get into the 30-minute test. There's just too many people farming Zealots. So sometimes on a server, there's just too many people going on Mach 10 with maxed out speedster armor or whatever max speed armor, just not able to even find a single Zealot to kill. So that really reduces efficiency. Second problem, if there's people farming dragons. Now, you know, steal some damage on the dragon, get some items, but it reduces your efficiency in farming Zealots for summoning eyes, which is, I think, ultimately more profitable. Other than that, you also have many people with the Aurora Staff or some ranged weapon, just being able to kill every single Zealot from range. And you're sitting here from Asia on 260 ping, going up to every single Zealot, hitting it, and yet still not getting the kill. Here's my haul from the Zealot farming test. I got 3 summoning eyes. I can sell that for 3.9 million, and the rest, few crystal fragments, enchanted ender pearls, I can sell all that off for about 200k. So in 30 minutes I made 4.2 million coins. So adding the 100,000 I made from just killing the Enderman, in total I made 4.3 million in 30 minutes. And in an hour, I made 8.6 million coins from Zealot farming. Now for one of the most infamous money-making methods in most recent times, the glowing mushrooms. The glowing mushroom technique is a more recent method of making money. Requirement? Absolutely nothing. And it is able to make up to 30 million coins per hour in its peak. But now, due to a few YouTubers, the method is largely overdone, causing prices to fall, making the method weaker. Now, almost a year after the method has been publicized, is it still effective? Well, that's what I'm gonna find out. All you really need for this method is a set of dragon armor, just for increased speed, and Moby shears. Now the lowest bin is 150,000 from the AH, which is pretty cheap. Other than that, you can also go to Moby here and get the Moby shears. Now you may also notice that I have a few green squares over the glowing mushrooms. So I have decided to listen to the comments and have finally installed an EU mod for Hypixel Skyblock. And let me tell you, it looks weird, but it is extremely helpful. Without that, this method might just be completely useless, because it's a lot harder to find glowing mushrooms with this off. Let's do the 30-minute test now. And that's our haul in 30 minutes. Alright, so we have 5 items that we can convert our glowing mushrooms into to earn our money. But we gotta find out which item is the most efficient item to convert our mushrooms into. So first we have the luminous bracelet. Low spin around 100k. This one, it says 90 million, but that's just because someone has bought out the market. The actual bin price around is 100k as well, 150k maybe. So I'm going to be using lowest bin as my measure. Out of the 5, we're going to have to start ruling out some obvious items that will not be efficient for our cause. So we have these 2 items. Between these 2, the luminous bracelet has, as you can see at the bottom, 4 sales per day, and the chump sinker has 10 sales per day. And due to the low cost of the amount of mushrooms required to actually buy this, the amount of luminous bracelets is 93.5. It would take 23 days for us to sell off just 30 minutes worth of glowing mushrooms. So that is just not efficient at all. Now, I also did the maths for both the mush mixin and the chumming talisman, and they both have very similar profit results, meaning they're within 100k of each other. So the only other factor is probably how fast they sell. And the chumming talisman sells for 44 sales a day, while the mixin is just about, I think, 6 a day. So the talisman is definitely still the best item to buy with your mushrooms to convert into money. This method produces 5.1 million coins per hour. Honestly, this is disappointing. Compared to its peak, producing 30 million coins per hour, I think it's safe to say that in 2025, this money-making method is officially dead. For everyone who has stuck around this long into the video, as promised, I have a surprise for you. There is a way to earn up to 30 million coins completely passively, just requiring maybe 10 minutes of setup. Well, that is if you get good at it. Flipping. You must have heard of many different types of flipping. Craft flipping, auction flipping, bazaar flipping. Hell, I have a whole damn video on bazaar flipping. You should check it out. But that's not the point. The success of this method comes from the fact that mid-level pets between 1 and 100 are almost always undervalued and can easily sell at a higher price if demand for the individual pet is large. All you gotta do is scour the auction house for high mid-level pets that are around level 80 and are wildly undervalued compared to pets of similar level. Then you just buy for cheaper and sell at sometimes even 30 million coins higher for profit. Super secret settings? What the fuck?